My name is Karina. I am 51 years old, and I, as of this morning, weigh 294 pounds, which is pretty close to the highest I've ever been. I actually have never seen 300, so pretty high up there. This morning, I had my first appointment to have gastric bypass surgery. I was really nervous about it. I considered making videos, and I was like, nope. I was going to make one ahead of time and do, body pictures and all that. And I went, no. Mostly because I'm so nervous that I would not be accepted. Medically, I'm definitely there. I have been pre-diabetic for about 30 years. I've been on high blood pressure medicine for about 10. And basically I'm just starting to wear out. And so that's why I need to get rid of the weight. I've never had a problem with losing weight, which leads to one of the issues that I was like, oh, they're going to just reject me straight out. Who cares? I've got insurance to pay for it. Who cares that medically I need it? I'm in the BMI range. I've got pre-existing conditions that would facilitate it even at a much lower BMI. I also have a very long history with eating disorders. I was anorexic, I was bulimic, I was what they call now orthorexic, and I also had exercise bulimia. I don't have binge eating disorder. Unless I am, well, I haven't for years, but unless I'm planning a bulimic episode, which I would know I was doing it because I would be at the store going, why am I buying mac and cheese? Easy down and easy up. I go, oh. Anyway, I thought all of these things would keep me off their list, but the reason I'm doing it is because the last true episode I had, I lost 39 pounds in 5 weeks. I lost faster than if I had a gastric bypass. It was because my father died, and I was planning his funeral, and it was right after the pandemic had sort of released, and it was going to be the first time that anybody in my family got together, and it was incredibly stressful. And I was like, I'm either going to be drunk this entire time, which I really didn't want to drink, or I'm going to make it impossible for me to drink by extreme calorie counting. And it worked like a charm. I looked great at the funeral. I weighed probably 40 pounds less than I weighed now. Maybe more, maybe less, I should say. I actually think I have pretty good shape right now. But my mother had severe arthritis and multiple joints that were replaced. She had high blood pressure. She had congestive heart failure. My father had high blood pressure and diabetes. I don't want that crap. I don't want that. I don't really care what I look like. I don't get obsessed with what I look like. I get obsessed with absolutely compulsed with the numbers and doing things correctly and adding them up and watching the numbers drop, and just absolutely obsessed with the numbers. I can't really explain it. It is compulsion. Anyway, I was thinking that would drop me. I was also thinking that I wouldn't have a good enough social network because my parents, they've both died. Everybody that would have been a part of my social network and somebody that I would have been able to depend on has died. Which is among the reasons, again, that I want to do this, because I am going to be the only one to take care of myself. So I need to be able to work and function and take care of myself. I'm going to be it. My grandmother lived till she was 91. That's 40 years. if my body breaks down to the point where I can't take care of myself and I can't work, like, what am I going to do for 35, 40 years? I need to get healthy. So it's time. I had the first appointment today. They were actually really impressed with me. They said, yes, definitely medically I qualify. They were really happy that I have so much insight, that I would know things like, for instance, I really react to the chemicals, additives in foods, and so I should eat single ingredient foods, which confuses people because then they're like, well, then how do you make a salad or something like that? How do you make bread? How? Well, you take single ingredient foods that don't have any chemicals and you combine them. And it's still considered single ingredient even though you've combined them. I know it's a little weird, but I mean, if I don't have the chemicals, I can eat the exact same amount by weight and calorie count of, say, bread, one that I bought in a store that's full of chemical additives and one that I've made myself that is as chemical additive free as I can get it, and I will gain weight on the store-bought bread and maintain or lose on my own bread. It's difficult doing that, and so I need some help and support. What's really scary is that when I start doing this compulsive monitoring of my food and counting and everything, and it takes over, and then I pretty quickly I have some really bad episodes. My doctor does not want me doing that anymore. The theory, I mean, who knows? The theory is that if I have a gastric bypass, I won't be able to overeat. And so, I mean, physically, there won't be room. And so I won't have to count in order, and, as much. I understand that everybody that's ever had this and heard this said, that's crazy. What you're saying is you're making it easy. I'm like, no, that's not what it would be. It's more like, it's like losing weight without having a scale involved and just like following, how does your body feel and how do your clothes feel to know that you're losing weight as opposed to actually getting numbers. It's the same, but it would be for food. I wouldn't have to say, oh, I can only eat 4 grapes or whatever and count them and be obsessive about it, because I wouldn't be able to eat more than 4 grapes, is the theory. Anyway, I really expected for them to say, yeah, no, you're not worthy, go. We're not going to help you. We're not going to do anything for you. But instead they were like, oh yeah, this is going to be good. First of all, because I got quite a history of being extremely successful with losing weight. I keep losing 50 pounds. And then basically, especially the bulimia, it really affects me physically negatively and affects my health in a really bad way. And so I have to stop. I don't know how to do the middle ground. I know how to just let things be, or to super restrict, and nothing in between. Anyway, so I had my first meeting. They were really positive about it, and they were pretty positive that probably in about 6 months I'd probably be able to have the surgery. I was like, whoa, this was the initial meeting, and they're all already like, basically plan on it. The first thing they had me do was do a whole bunch of blood work. I had 6 blood tests. I've already gotten the first one back. It came back 100% in the normal range. I'm personally really curious about the diabetes one, because I keep thinking I must have it at this point. I've been pre-diabetic forever. I had one test that came back in the regular range in the past 30 years, and that was after an extreme weight loss episode, which means that if I have a weight loss, then these health things are going to go away. I've got proof it's going to work. Anyway, I had all those done, and I start my nutrition classes on Wednesday, which is day after tomorrow. I mean, it's immediate. It's boom. I'm like, oh my goodness, after waiting over a year to get this first appointment, and I thought they forgot about me, it's happening really fast. So those are the two things, well, three things for this week. What they're going to schedule me next is I have to have my mental evaluation done. They're also really super curious about that, about what to do, because I am super aware about what is going on. I might need a specialist nutritionist intervention as opposed to just a general class, because it's not like I don't know all this stuff. But then again, I think a lot of people that have gastric bypass really know their stuff when it comes to nutrition and have been trying for a really long time. So it's going to be interesting to see if I can learn something new in that class. I have no idea what the therapy part of it is going to be. I guess I'll find out. Because I've been treated physically for my eating disorder, but I've been, like I said, really good about just turning it off if I have to. No middle ground. So when I basically scare myself with whatever physical thing happens and stop immediately, and then it's like it's on or it's off. I wish it wasn't like that with me. I wish I could do a middle ground thing, but that's the way I am, and they're going to work with me about that, because the concern is that this process would trigger something. The concern is not that I've had it in the past. The concern is not that I would be able to not control it. The concern is, how are they going to talk to me about, like, say, having the liquid diet or whatever. I've had a liquid diet before. I've had to have a colonoscopy. It's not a big deal. Unless I'm obsessed with keeping track of the calories, that's when it becomes an issue. Give me some numbers and I just go crazy. So they're going to figure out a way of not looking at the numbers and letting me go through this and letting the process happen. So that'll be the next thing that's happening. They are going to also have me do a sleep study. My mother had restless leg syndrome. Who knows? Maybe I've got it. I don't sleep well. Then again, I don't know anybody that would be, well, I'm not actually that, relatively that. Seriously, what started me looking at this for myself, and this is kind of like, is there's a YouTuber out there called Alexandra Rodriguez, who got one, and I was looking at her going, she's about the same size as me. If she could get it, I could get it. Although I guess now, after she had it for a year and has lost over 100 pounds, she's about where I am now. So that is called body dysmorphia. But I really, for my health, should lose weight. Anyway, yeah, so I've got a cat in the bathroom, if you hear her. I don't know, they're concerned about my stress. They're concerned about my sleep. They're going to insist I have a mammogram because, I'm kind of old. And everybody needs one. I think annually after 40, you're supposed to have one. And then once I have all that done, then they're going to have me talk to the surgeon. And it's going to be really relatively fast. So super impressed. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this video. I might put it up and put it under private or something like that, and then release it once I got definite information about what's happening and which direction it's going. So day after tomorrow is my first nutrition meeting, and also by then I should have more results from the blood work that was done and the testing that was done, and it seems like, I was really seriously worried that I would not pass their standards, and had every excuse why I wouldn't be good enough for them. and wasn't an issue for any of them about anything that I have going on. So here's the start of it.